A surfer in New Zealand skims down an overhead wave at 35 miles per hour on a 6-foot board with 3 fins, while a surfer in Maine trims graciously down the line of a waist-high wave on a 10-foot board with a single center fin. Well, what transforms these blocks of just foam into such dynamic objects that they become such capable instruments in the world's most unpredictable force, the ocean? I'm going to inform you of some of the technical aspects that go into surfboard design and give you some of that basic knowledge you'll need in case you ever decide that you want to try surfing for yourself. So let's look at the basic shapes. You've got your longboard. The longboard's little stepbrother, the fish, and next to it you have your performance shortboard. Okay, your longboard. Very long, very wide. You can see it from the side right here. Very thick, and it's relatively straight. It doesn't have too much rocker from top to bottom. Okay, so what is this long, wide, and thick board going to do for us? It's going to have volume. And what volume translates to is buoyancy and stability. Great for beginners, great for speed, and don't get it wrong, very fun for even the most experienced surfer as it handles itself in probably the widest variety of surf conditions. Okay, now let's consider the fish. Also quite wide, very thick, not too much rocker either. What you notice about it is very short. Why would we want that? Well, it's great to have a board with a lot of volume, give it some float, and then when we're in smaller waves, imagine the small little pocket of a smaller wave, but we've got a shorter board to work with, so we can really get it turning and perform in a smaller wave, and we still have a lot of that volume of a longer board with some of the characteristics of a more performance type board. And now let's talk about performance. Let's look at this performance shortboard and the outline in front of a longboard. We removed a lot of the fat and we've trimmed this thing down we've sacrificed that stability, that buoyancy for performance characteristics. It's a lot narrower, it's not as wide, it's not as thick, it's a little bit longer than your fish. It's going to give us some stability there. It's mostly designed for speed and performance in surf where you can sacrifice a little bit of buoyancy because the power is in the wave. All right. Now we have one of the key factors in any surfboard is the fin setup. You have a single fin setup, which you'll typically find in your longboards, not always, but typically. And it's just one big single center fin. Now you have a twin fin setup, which is 2 fins, and you can move into a thruster or a tri-fin setup, which is 3 fins, typically found in your performance boards. And you have even a quad fin setup of 4 fins, which I've got here in this little fish. The great thing about the fin setup nowadays is that they come removable and interchangeable, meaning that you can mess around with different fin configurations, different fin sizes themselves with different boards, and you could really adjust the board to a rider's preferences. You can experiment with different things in different conditions and really tweak a board to your liking. So it's great. One of the most underestimated things with surfboards, one of the most overlooked things with surfboards is the bottom. And what I mean is the bottom of the surfboard has a series of concaves that are going to channel water through the bottom of the board. And what that's going to do is as the water hits the bottom, travels to the bottom of the board, it's going to create lift and it's going to channel that water back through your fins, and it's going to deliver it through a series of concaves, either one single concave or sometimes into a single to a double concave. It's going to deliver that water back to the bottom of your board, and it's going to pass over your fins, and it's designed to give them a little bit of control as it channels almost like an exhaust stem the water through the back of your board. Okay, so now you've got the basic knowledge, you've got the basic shapes, your longboard, your fish, your shortboard. You've got some of their performance characteristics, and of course there's some hybrids and things in the middle, but you've got everything you need to get started. I'm going to recommend if you start off on a longboard, get yourself comfortable with a stable, buoyant surfboard, and from there you can experiment with the other types. But the most important thing is that to each his own. So get out there in the water and learn for yourself, and I look forward to seeing you out there.